on Matt's lap.
Did we sit up there?
Probably.
Sure.
I think that's where Bill was sitting.
King of the castle, king of the castle.
You gotta
Thank you.
leave Bill a spot.
We had some cattle get out on the freeway. So this piece is 90 acres that lays between the freeway and 99, and we have designated it only for sheep. So we're, and then there's a creek where those tree lines go. Martin Creek runs underneath the freeway and then through the trees, and then parallel, the creek runs down through that strip, so it makes a pretty good deal. And all of our lambs we're feeding, with the exception of about 10 or 12, are all down there in the trees.
And our ewes are.
And all the ewes are on further down. So this is our dedicated sheep area. You know what the old timers used to say that a cow will eat a ton in a winter.
Oh, so you do a ton per cow.
What you figure for if you're feeding one is 3 to 4% of their body weight.
Okay.
So if a cow weighs 1,000 pounds and you're feeding them, they need to consume about 30 to 40 pounds a day.
Are they supplemented? The hay is supplementing what you're able to feed them?
In some cases, when we can, like in the wintertime, if it's snow on the ground, that's all they're getting.
Yeah.
And like with this residual feed, doesn't look like much, but they'll eat this. And so we leave a little residual feed. It's good for the ground, it's good for the forage, and it's good for the animal. This is our working facility. These are the set of bull calves we just weaned right here. They're purebreds, and we put them in here because we're going to keep them as bulls and use them or sell them. And this is our working facility. Every one of our areas that we have to have cattle, we have to have a working facility. talking about what's ready and what isn't ready.
Yeah.
Where you know, you see these two blacks here, especially the one without the horns, and how the pones and how his tail head is full.
Yep.
Where this calf is just not ready yet, and he'll probably be the last. But they're, you know, these calves are getting super close, and a lot of guys would take them. I mean, if in some of the more commercial places, these calves would go, but we want them to be just exactly what we want.
Well,
So,
we also have the ability where you're only sending, you know, like it's
2
1.5 a week. Yeah, so you're
we kill.
you can pick and choose.
Right.
Give
We
them a
can be
couple more
pretty
weeks.
selective about what we take.
And how much weight are they putting on a day up here?
They're going to put 3 pounds a day, pretty much. I would say some of them may earlier on be more like 4 pounds, but
Springtime they race ahead of us, as you noticed.
but you know,
there's lots to eat.
There is.
so when these calves dropped off in July, when we went from the 13 calves to these 14 calves, we went from 800-pound carcasses to 650-pound carcasses. Now they're starting to build back into the mid 7s. So almost every one of these calves right now will be in a 700-pound carcass. So
Well, I think there's a 774
and
right now.
and the like these animals will weigh 1,300. So our yield is about 54% of their live weight. So what you guys get, you know, is the about, and if we had a 58% yield, it would be awesome. But if we had a 52%, it wouldn't be. So
Yeah.
It's just like a very fine
and
line.
it varies. You know, it's, each animal will yield a little bit different from. They won't yield exactly the same. And you see the babies over here that you can just see, they're half the size.
Yep.
And those are our bull calves, and they so those calves are you know, just weaned, and these guys were weaned a year ago. So you can see what they're going to change in the year from fall of 13 to, or the fall of 14 to the fall of 15. And so last fall these guys were going through just exactly what we're doing now with all the calves, and they've been with us for a year, and they're getting ready to. But you know, we have to know that if we're sending 6 calves a month to you guys, we got to know what calves are going in January, February, March, and when will the 15 calves be ready.
Yeah.
So we have to have enough of these 14 calves to get us through your needs all the way till next summer, you know, and so it doesn't bother me a bit to see a calf like that.
Sure.
Because I know that he'll be ready after the first of the year. And so that's what everybody said. Well, gee, Bill, I've been asked this all the time. You don't calve all year long? I said, no, I don't calve all year long. Because they think, well, in order to supply the restaurant with something every single week, shouldn't you have to calve all year long? And I said, no, because they're not all peas in a pod. They're all different, and you can see that there's some of them that are really close, and some of them are not.
They're all the same age.
And they're all within 90 days of each other. So these calves were born from.
Yeah.
They're all eating
Right.
at their own rate, and they're fat.
And that's right. And see, for most of their lives, they were out on the pasture, and so they come in. And we're going to go. The hard part. I want to take you over and show you the 15 calves, or the rest of their cohorts that are later on in the year that are still on pasture. These guys were on pasture all the way up to about 30 days, or not even 3 weeks ago. So all these high school girls come out of they're covering their mouth and they won't film. And I said, girls, relax. It smells like honey.
The spit in my eyes and the blood on my shoes still don't tell me much of what I was trying to prove. I am too lazy to really get angry, and you're too sugar sweet to come along. Don't follow me, don't follow me, don't follow me, don't follow me. I am lost, whining quietly while at 10th and A, wondering why you ain't got nowhere to stay. You are too lazy to really get angry. If you don't know
Right about it.
So, you know, I mean, that's what it's, you know, it's a curse that I have. I'm just almost always right.
don't follow me, don't follow me.
Tell me about the only reason why you keep the goats.
That's exactly right.
Exactly right.
And they don't eat clover, so it really
Don't do anything with the milk?
They'll take out the competition.
They're just
they don't
brush
eat
eaters.
clover.
So they really do enhance the value of the forages. I mean, you put them in an area, they clean it up, they take care of all the nasties. They eat the Scotch broom, blackberries, and poison oak.
This
That's
What's better
amazing.
than that?
and they're very nutritious, so it's
So this is a divider. There's 400 acres that lays on the other side of this fence, and we bought this piece of ground in the 30s, in the 1930s. This was added to the ranch.
This ranch is pretty big.
Yeah. Well, and has anybody ever settled over here? Or
This is a historic homestead. What
Yeah,
we're on, the interesting historical fact, this road we're on is the original Applegate Trail. So there were homesteaders. I have a picture of this valley that was homesteaded in the 1800s, and it's a really interesting picture. There was a homestead right around the corner in these oak trees, and they farmed this whole bottom, and it changed hands a couple times, but
with a growing sense of dread and a hammer in my head, fully clothed upon the bed. I wake up to the world that lately I've been living in. There's a cut upon my brow, must have banged myself somehow, but I can't remember now. And the front door's open wide, lately I've let things slide. I go to the bin, I throw the laundry in and pick out the cleanest shirt. Then I tell myself again, I don't really hurt. Smoking I once quit, now I got one lit, I just fell back into it. Along with my pride, lately I've let things slide. to the bin, I throw the laundry in, dig out the cleanest shirt. When all at once I'm seized again by exquisite hurt, that untouched takeaway I brought home the other day has quite a lot to say. The evidence is clear on every side, piled high and wide, about how lately I let things slide. I'm just about holding on, but lately I've let things slide.